Hey everybody, excuse me. Welcome to another edition of Tell It Like It Is. Again, we've been going for a little bit, trying to catch up on other shows and things like that, and dealing with life's issues as they crop up. But we're back for another go at it, and we hope that you will stay with us and enjoy the content. Before we get started, I just need you all to know that this and other podcasts in the Jazzy Groove Ready Day podcast family are brought to you by the Power of Five. If you like what we're doing, at the very least, support the show, hit the like button. And before we delve into the meat and potatoes of the issue, I just need you to know that we've been in contact with somebody. Actually, it was by accident, actually. But we've been in contact with somebody, and we're going to be doing a collab in the coming days and weeks ahead. More will be revealed as we get closer and closer to the date. Stay tuned, and you hopefully will be surprised and amazed. And now, on with the podcast. This podcast will deal primarily with the issue of dating. Now, I already hear you moaning and groaning and saying, oh, here we go again. They're going to preach to us. They're going to tell us this, that, and the other thing, and we don't want to hear it. Well, before you hit that exit button and leave this video, let me go on record by stating this. This podcast will not tell you what to do. Indeed, if you watch other podcasts in this series, none of them tell you what you should do because that's not my intent. You're going to do what you want to do, and I am of the opinion that you can do whatever you want. Want to be a player? Be a player. Want to be a thought? Be a thought. Want to be a geek? Be a geek. Doesn't bother me. I have no skin in that game. So it's all on you. The only thing that I'm telling you, and the only thing that I'm reminding you of, is that while you have the right to do whatever you want, you also have the inverse and opposite effect of dealing with whatever consequences your actions may bring. Or in other words, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It is what it is. And again, I can hear you guys complaining. Excuse me. I can hear you saying, oh yeah, he's doing it again. What's I got to do with anything? This, that, and the other thing. And I challenge you on that. I ask you, what doesn't it have to do with anything? Let that sink in for a minute. Let it marinate in your brain. Let your brain digest all the nuances and this, that, and the other thing that may come about. And really, really immerse yourself in the topic. Again, I don't preach to you. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a politician. I'm not a writer. I'm none of those things. I'm just a guy with a camera telling you what it is that I see and offering you an alternative viewpoint, something else to look at. Are people going to be out there to tell you what to do? Absolutely. Do you have to listen to them? Absolutely not. Do you have to listen to me? 1,000% no. No, you don't. But I hope what I talk about imbues enough of an alternative viewpoint that makes you stop and think. And that's all I really can do. I can stop and make you think. And if I can stop and make you think, then I've won over half of the battle. The biggest impediment to somebody admitting that being wrong is them actually admitting they're wrong in the first place. If you can get someone to say, yeah, hands up, I was wrong, you're over halfway there. Have I been wrong? Absolutely, again. And I challenge people on this and every other podcast. Did I leave something out? Did I say something wrong? Put it in the comment section. I read them all the time. And maybe, just maybe, you might have something that makes me want to think. That makes me want to say, I need to do a show about that because whatever reason that may be. And if I do so, I'll give you a shout out. Shout out to so and so for bringing this to our attention. Let's dig in. It doesn't bother me. I'm not that type of person to actually sit there and be offended or, excuse me, or butthurt or anything like that about an idea I may have or an idea I didn't have that I think is good. If it's a good idea and I didn't think about it, I'll give you props for it. All day, every day. Because it helps move the discussion along. It's yet another point of view. One that I may or may not have thought about before. If I thought about it and didn't bring it up, I'll tell you why. And if I thought about it and now decide to bring it up, I'll tell you why too. I don't have any issue with someone telling me that I'm wrong, so long as you back it up with facts. I could go around saying the sky is green. And you are to say, hold up, Owen, hold up. The sky is blue because I looked it up in Wikipedia or whatever it is on the internet that you look at, ascertain that because it is this certain hue, this color is associated with blue on the spectrum. Therefore, you're wrong and the sky is blue. To which I say, okay, cool. My bad. I stand corrected. And I say that in front of the world if I have to. Because I'm going to be wrong from time to time. I'm going to make mistakes because I'm human. And that's what we do. We make mistakes. Again, it is what it is. Getting back to it, Actually, no. I'm going to switch gears for a minute. I'm going to rant for a minute. And then I'll open the floor to you guys, and you guys can say what it is that you think. I was watching YouTube the other day, and I came across a very, very interesting video called X-Men is it political? And parentheses it says, yes, obviously. Full disclaimer, make mine Marvel. I've been a Marvel fan for decades now. The first comic that I remember reading back, I think it was 1977, was Wolverine Alone. And my father brought it home for us. And I was hooked instantly. He had this short guy that had metal claws popping out of his hand, slicing and dicing all over the place. Give me more. And my fascination turned into respect, which turned into love for the Band of Mutants, grew over time. And it introduced me to other fans, and other titles in the Marvel Comics universe that I grew to love and respect as well. I thrilled to the exploits of Cyclops, Beast, Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Rogue, Kitty Pryde, and Jean Grey, aka Phoenix. Which brought on the question for me watching it and reading about it and geeking out over it and everything. Yes, the X-Men are political, but what reasoning is given behind it? As I've stated before on this channel, the X-Men were a product of the civil rights revolution of the mid to late 1960s, 65 to be precise. It was brought about because Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were looking around, and Chris Claremont were looking around, and they said, there is this situation going on with a group of people that have been oppressed that are fighting for their freedom. And there's a movement coalescing around it, moved by two morally um, two morally distant or opposing viewpoints with the same end goal. How can we talk about that? Well, the group in question were blacks. But we got to make it in the realm of heroes, so let's call them mutants. And as I've also stated on this channel, mutants are anyone that was born with the X gene that usually manifests itself at puberty. So not only do you have to worry about growing up and becoming a man or woman, now you got this other thing giving you these special abilities. These paranormal abilities. Some could pass for human, others can't. And after mulling all that down, they said, well, let's make what can we base these two opposing viewpoints on? Well, if we're going to talk about the civil rights movement, let's look at the two primary voices of the movement. You have the inclusion side, which was championed by Dr. Martin Luther King and his brethren. All he wanted was for humans, in this case blacks and whites, to live together. On the other side, you have Malcolm X. It ain't gonna happen. They hate us and fear us, but we're gonna get ours by any way necessary. Even if that means walking over you, we're gonna get ours. And the two became Charles Xavier and, and, and Eric Magnus Leshner. That's it, Leshner. Their ideas are exactly the same. The end goal is the same. But how they were going to get there was radically different. Charles Xavier said, we can live together. We're here. We're not going anywhere. So why not share the planet? Magneto, which is Magnus on the other hand, said, yeah, we're here. We're not going anywhere. And ultimately, we will replace you. And we will replace you because we're your evolutional betters. And we will get there by any means necessary. The end justifies the means. If we have to kill a few, so be it. If the end result is us getting what's rightfully ours, that's a risk we're happy to take. That's the two opposing viewpoints in a nutshell. I'm not here to say who's right. I'm not here to say who's wrong. I have my opinion on it, but that's not for me to say. That's for you to say. And you can do so in the comments below. Who is right? Who is wrong? And most importantly, why? Why do you feel the way that you feel? And based upon logic versus emotion, you can come up with some pretty interesting scenarios and opinions and beliefs. You can and you will. They're political because even now, with the state of society being as tense as it is, you can still see it played out. Oh, the oppressed may change. Blacks, Latinos, Asian people, LGBTQ plus people. It always changes. And there'll always be two camps of people that champion the cause. Those who strive for inclusion and those who strive for dominance. It's as old as time itself. I'm going to put a pin in it for now because this is a topic that we can go real deep in if you wanted to. But I just felt the need to flesh out what I'm thinking and why I'm feeling the way I feel about the topic. Again, feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And until the next, later, y'all.